A very good morning. We learned today the meaning of the poem The Schoolboy, and the poet's name is William Blake. Now you can definitely relate with this poem because this poem depicts the feelings of a schoolboy. How does he feel going to school and all his rights being taken away to enjoy his life is being portrayed by the poet. He has taken different kinds of examples, cited different kinds of examples, and then tried to tell you his feelings. You can definitely relate with them. I am on the receiving side over here, you are on the giving side. Now let's dig into the poem and see verse by verse what does he want to say. As I give my lecture verse by verse, try to write the summary of each verse in the textbook. The schoolboy. The schoolboy in the poem is not a happy child. What makes him unhappy? Why does he compare himself to a bird that lives in a cage or a plant that withers when it should blossom? This small boy, I would say he would not be an adolescent over here. You can count him in the primary stages. And if you've seen in school also, when kids don't want to come to school, what a scene they create in front of the gate. The parents are dragging them along with them. And those kids are crying, prattling, saying that I don't want to go to school. Nobody has ever stopped to ask, why do you not want to go to school? So this is the question. This poem is the answer to that question. Why don't you want to go to the school? He does make a point. He does have some point to make over there, but not 100% satisfactory. I love to rise in a summer morn. Now there are many short forms which have been used in this poem. Morn over here means morning. When he says, I love to rise, I love to wake up on a summer morning. Now we are talking about the states abroad. For them summers is a season of rejoice because they suffer, like they have to really bear a lot of weather. They are exposed to a lot of extreme weather conditions, so for them summer is a retreat. So he says, like, I definitely love to get up in the morning when it is summer, when the birds sing on every tree. So what kind of atmosphere is there around in the nature? He can see the birds are singing, chirping here and there. The distant huntsman winds his horn. Now, when you talk about countryside, or you talk about a cottage near a forest, if there are huntsmen, we're talking about old era now, people don't hunt anyway. So they used to wind a horn to make the animals move here and there so that they could go and kill them. Though he wants to hear all that, he wants to have an experience of that. And the skylark sings with me. Skylark is a bird which sings very beautifully. So he also wants to sing with the skylark. Oh, what sweet company. Now, what he desires of is to have an experience of the forest or the countryside, and he wants to wake up in the morning, he wants to enjoy the morning, he wants to listen to the chirping of the birds, he wants to sing along with the skylark. But all this happiness comes to an end when? But to go to school in a summer morn, off it drives all joy away. So when nature is calling you, you have such beautiful elements of nature to explore, the schoolboy is being pushed to go to school. So his entire episode of joy has come to an end. Under a cruel eye outworn. Now we have a cruel eye has been I would say used for the supervision of the school and the teachers. So he said, under that supervision, that strict supervision, I have to go and compromise with my liberty, with my freedom. The little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. Sigh is a deep breath You do this. This is called a sigh. It's a deep breath when you release when you are extremely sad. So he says that all the children in the school are sighing and they are in dismay. That means they are very, very sad. Then at times I drooping sit. What is the meaning of drooping? Drooping is actually a posture when you bend down low, especially when you look at plants, when you don't water them, the leaves almost cling downwards. So that kind of posture he sits because he is very, very sad and spend many an anxious hour. Now, why is he anxious? Because he doesn't want to sit in that place. He's anxious to get away from there. Nor in my book can I take delight. If you're not in the mood of studying, definitely everything what is happening around you doesn't entertain you at all. So you're not in the mood of studying as well. Nor sit in learning's bower. Now over here, bower means a pleasant, shady place in the nature. So he says, in the learnings, though we are getting knowledge, I am not interested because I am not in the mood of learning right now. Worn through with a dreary shower. Now over here, dreary shower means I am dreading it. What do you dread? The lectures which I have been given in the school. The continuous lectures which are being given in the school by the teachers. So he says, I am worn through, I am tired. I am tired of these lectures which the teachers are giving me. From his point of view, a very innocent kind of a feeling. But you cannot have a happy-going life all the time. You have some kind of a balance to strike. So this is only the emotion of a child where he wants to be free. Let's see further how does he express his feelings. How can the bird that is born for joy, now he calls himself a bird that is born for joy, who's supposed to enjoy his life, sit in a cage and sing? So the cage is the school. So he says, how can you put me in a school and expect me to be happy? How can a child when fears annoy but droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? So it is so annoying to do things which you don't like. So in that kind of an atmosphere, in that kind of a circumstance, how do you expect me to leave off all my dreams, my aspirations, what I want to do, where do I want to go, and you want me to forget all my elements which give me happiness? You're putting me in that kind of a situation. Oh father and mother, if buds are nipped. Now there's one idiom in English called nipping in the bud. That means you solve the problem by not even allowing it to rise. You nip it in the bud only. At the beginning only you stop the problem. So he's calling the children going to school, the parents making the children going to school, nipping their happy moments in the bud only. They're not allowing them to be happy at all. What an exaggeration. And blossoms blown away. He says, like, if you nip them in the bud and don't allow the blossoms to be blown away, there is no happiness, because he sees happiness in these elements only. And if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day, now here his tender plants are the children, and he says, if you take away, if you just pull off the entire happiness of their joy, entire thing, by sending them to school, and they will definitely become sad, and they will feel that they will be engrossed in the feeling of dismay. How shall the summer arise in joy? So he says summer is a season of joy to them. Winter is like you have to stay at home and you can't do anything, you can't go out because it's wintry out and it's snowy and you can't move out freely. But summer brings along with it sunshine, freedom of movement. So he says, if you do this to us, how shall that joy come back in our soul, which summer brings? Or the summer fruits appear. So he says, summer fruits over here means the happiness which is yielded by that particular season. So the question what he asks his parents is, Mama and Daddy, that if you put me in school, How do I reap the joy of the summer season? So it's only a kid's point of view. It's its perspective of going to school, not wanting to go and receive knowledge or gain knowledge. He just wants to be with Mother Nature, enjoying himself, playing here and there, which each and every kid would definitely ask for. So that's the summary of the poem. A cute one, though it's only an innocent plea of a little child. So I'll be sending you the question and answers. I don't think there are many over here, though you can do. But still, I'll make you mark it in the textbook only. You can mark it in the text as well. That's all for this particular lecture. Thank you.